Hey there, this is Angelina with another MSP lesson plan guide. So, I'm going to share my screen with you. So, we're going to go over the first lesson in the dermatology unit, which is healthy and unhealthy skin cells. Now, this is the lesson where we build actual models with our students. So we have a bunch of foam blocks, sponges, construction paper, pipe cleaners that represent hair and glands and blood vessels, nerves, things like that. So this lesson is a lot of building, which means you need a lot of patience. But it's also the first lesson, meaning that this is going to be the lesson where we have our pre-test. Now it's important that you really prepare all parts of this lesson before you come to your class and teach, because the pre-test, probably take 10 to 15 minutes. So you'll only have 40 to 45 minutes to actually teach this lesson. And you're not just building. Since it is the first lesson, you have to introduce dermatology to them. You have to teach them about skin cells and how they work, and then you can start building the models. So what I did is, before I taught the lesson, I had all the supplies prepared and delegated. So I cut up the sponges in half. I cut the pipe cleaners into hair sized lengths. I rolled up all these pipe cleaners. I twisted all of these and cut them. And I, prepared the toothpicks the right way. It just makes it easier for your students to build what they need to build. They just have to assemble, and it makes it easier for you because you won't be rushing while you're teaching. Also, you probably won't have enough for every student. So something I recommend is to pair them up. And this way, you can really make sure they're working together well, because what you can do is have one person assemble one part and the next person assemble the next part and just switch back and forth. This way you kind of stay together on every step because they're so preoccupied with taking turns. Yeah, it looks great. In my class, everyone worked really well together. See Zoe smiling in the background there. Something important is that you need to make sure they're on the same step as you at any given moment. So, it's always nice to call out when we're switching partners. When we're switching who is assembling what. And it's really nice to kind of explain what exactly you're putting onto the cell before you put it on. So when we put the hairs on, I was like, these are hairs, and you're putting them into the foam block, into follicles. So yeah, really do a good job of explaining what exactly they're doing so they can be even more engaged while they're doing it. And then my class, I actually let them keep the models, especially because I taught at Weems, or I teach at Weems, and they had a science night, or they were going to have a science night before school was let out, but they were going to display their models, and so they had a lot of fun building it. Students always really, at least my students, have always really enjoyed assembling things, and it's kind of one of those types of lessons where I have a really easy time controlling the classroom, just because they're so focused on making sure their models look good. Yeah, so this is a pretty successful lesson, but it really depends on you, the TA, preparing everything beforehand. You need to make sure all the pipe cleaners are rolled, twisted, and cut, and the sponges are cut beforehand. You need to really keep their attention while they're receiving the materials when you pass them out, because there are a lot of materials. I actually recommend maybe just putting everything that you need for one block to be built, maybe in one baggie, and then just handing those baggies to your students. But if you don't have enough time in prep, it's okay to just pass out each different type of material. So you can pass out all the hair and then all the blocks and then all the sponges, maybe get your teacher's help, or maybe get the help of a student to pass that out. But other than a lot of prep and maybe pairing up students, this lesson is a big success and it's super easy.